right, thank you, sir. I didn't want to be talking about you and not looking at you, so.
That's okay, they do it all the time.
But you know, that was really a very, very small sampling. I mean, it's hard really to base anything. I mean, that is not what you would call hard and fast empirical data. I think we can all agree with that. If you look at all of the folks who attended, total them all up, and then try to somehow determine that this is where the county is on this particular issue based on that small a sample.
Just a response,
Yes,
Mr. Steinberg. You know, regardless of what you do, we have a very poor outcome in terms of people who vote. So if you went to a referendum, you're still going to get the same thing. You're not going to get everybody to come out and vote. You're going to get some people who come out and vote, some people might not feel it's important to them. But what I'm saying is everybody had an opportunity, and that's all we're suggesting to you, that we have an opportunity to elect. Well, everyone had an opportunity to come to those meetings. It was well publicized, long in advance, the location was in advance, all that was publicized. And I think that if we had a sense of what the people feel, I mean, I can understand what you guys are saying, but that was what the board suggested or recommended that we do. Wait a minute, we don't want to do this, the board don't want to do it. Let's go and listen to people in the county. And that's what people did. They listened to folks in the county.
Well, sir, if that is indeed the case, and they had the opportunity to come out, some chose not to, we can read that any number of ways.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, I think what you're suggesting, correct me if I'm wrong, the very fact that they had the opportunity and they did not take advantage of that would assume that they don't have a position on it, which would lead me to come to the next point of, why not, there's nothing to fear from a referendum. If this is in fact the way the voters feel, then that will be expressed when they come to the polls in whatever numbers to vote.
You know, let me say this. When this first started, I really believed that we could resolve this locally, and that's where it should be. I agree with you, sir.
Yes.
We have to figure out how to sit in a room and really talk to each other, not at each other. And not saying that because you have a goal, you make the rule, but say, how do we make this, you know, we can't make it happen for anyone, but how do we solve this problem where everybody's unhappy, but the problem is solved? We don't have to bother you guys with this local issue. And I think that that's what and I still suggest that we need to bump some heads in the room, talk about and look for alternatives, to look for ways to resolve this problem. And I still believe in my heart that it could be resolved here locally, and it should be resolved here locally.
I would concur with that, and thank you for sharing those thoughts. Also, I think it's only fair to fairness and disclosure to share with the body here that I received a tremendous number of calls and emails from people who were very concerned about this issue and who did not express necessarily support for or against the issue, but did say unequivocally, with unanimity, that a referendum would be in order on this issue. I mean, and we're not talking about 10 calls, 20 calls, 50 calls. We're talking about a lot of calls and emails and so on and so forth. So that obviously has helped to shape my thinking as well. And again, I'm not taking a position on this. The only position I'm taking is to let the people decide. And quite frankly, I believe, and I know all the commissioners, and I respect every one of you. Take a stand on this issue and let the voters decide as to whether they're with you on this issue or they're not. And don't be thinking about trying to protect your seat. I mean, that's silly. I mean, Senator Cook, Representative Mobley, myself, we have to make votes every day that we know not everybody is going to agree with. But you have to make the decision. You all have to make this decision. Then let the people of Pasquotank either reward you, if you're not going to go the referendum route, or replace you.
So could I ask this one question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you saying that?
I'm not open it up
Oh,
for
fine.
general conversation. I'm
Thank you,
sorry,
sir.
okay, these gentlemen and
Thank
lady,
you.
I'm
I'll
sorry,
accept your
they
word.
need,
I'll
they need
take
to
your
get out
word.
of here, so we're trying to get our orders first before they have to get up and get out of here.
Okay.
Representative
With the
Mobley?
clarity that needs to be done, I don't think anyone can do
Well,
it.
we're here for a different purpose. We've heard all these narratives over and
No, I'm
over
not
again.
talking about the narrative, sir. I'm
We
talking
need to
about
find out
clarity.
how this can be moved forward, and
And
why
that's
we have
what I
these
was
three in this
looking for.
room, that's what.
But
we
yeah,
need to
they,
do.
I don't think they get a clear picture of actually what has transpired.
No, it's not
Yes,
what
they
they
have.
transpire. I need to know what they're saying.
It's in their hands now, but we gotta find out how to make it work, if it's gonna go forward. Representative Mobley?
One of the things that I sense in this setting is sensitivity. If you've never been a part of sensitivity training, you are invited to. Billy Ray Hall, of course, he's out on the job now, and the Rural Center conducted sensitivity training to a group of folk in Hertford County. I don't know if you've ever done it or not, and they don't have to be the ones to do it, but you can do it amongst yourselves. And it all has to do with listening to one another. And I heard Mr. Witherspoon talk about closing your eyes and placing yourself in someone else's shoes.